and a lot of people are kind of in the same boat. I wanted to ask what got you to put like one foot in front of the other and just to go out into the unknown? March 13th, it's almost 10 a.m. You know, this time change really messed with me. I think today we're going to talk about my financial situation. You know, it's been about a year since I went on the Stephan podcast, you know, the iced off coffee hour with Jack and Graham, and so I figured I'd talk a little bit about where I'm at. Hey.
What's going on, man?
I think I'm gonna try the turkey trot.
Alright, cool.
Grilled cheese with turkey and bacon. That's a solid 9 out of 10. I ain't even joking. That Ruthie's bus truck thing, go to. I wanted to start this video off with telling y'all about what my income looks like right now. All right, you ready for this, Bob? So while we're here, let's start with YouTube. You know, it's been all over the place. It's been anywhere from $3 grand to all the way down to 200, which is where I was pretty much at prior to starting this daily vlog. And now it's going up like substantially. It's already gotten back up to around the $700 mark.
Can I ask how much you're making right now from Postmates and Uber Eats and delivery, like in an average day?
The next thing that takes up a majority of my time is doing deliveries. How much do I make in a day? Probably anywhere from $50 to $100, but to take that with a grain of salt, because I don't work every single day. I'm, you know, making YouTube videos. I'm trying to get shots, you know. If I took it more seriously, I could probably make $150 a day if I wasn't doing YouTube.
You do the food services and you do YouTube. Is there any other stream of income that you have?
All the side kind of hustles that I'm doing, okay? Like all of the referrals, stuff that you can find down in the description below right next to the like button, and then, you know, like Liquid IV, which I'm drinking literally right now, 25% off free shipping. It doesn't do as much as you think. It's probably another 50 to 100 bucks for me a month. Starting the Patreon, I just want to give everyone a shout out, all my $2 tip jar tiers and all my $5 tip jar tiers. I appreciate you. You are helping my life substantially. And then sometimes people just want to make like a one-time donation, and so that's some more income that comes in a month. And then we've got merch sales, okay? My first drop was the gray Car Life shirt. That did pretty well. I probably doubled my money on that. And then we've got the Black Reels channel on YouTube with my face on it. Honestly, probably gonna come out even on that, you know? I'm selling it for like $15. I'm just happy for people, you know, being supportive. It always takes me forever to do my laundry because I can't hang things up. I have to place clothes on top of clothes, so I have to remember in what order I wore things. But anyways, now I want to kind of get into all of my bills and all of the suggestions that Graham had for me. Alright, we're back at one of my favorite places to film. Let's start with bills, okay?
What kind of bills do you have?
So my first bill is obviously the Prius. That's $500. And then we've got insurance. That's $268. Gas, I'm saving a lot of that just because of the Prius. That's at about like $350 now. Phone is currently $140, but I'm about to have this paid off, okay? And then I'm also paying for a hotspot so I can travel around and use the internet more efficiently. iTunes, YouTube, and Epidemic Sounds, which is what I use for music in the blogs, all comes out to $45. I have to have the Planet Fitness membership to travel around, take showers, exercise, and whatnot. That's $30 a month. And then I'm on this weird health insurance plan that's $20 a month. Eventually, like, it'll just keep adding up, and then I get a return on all that money once it's all kind of paid off. It's almost like a savings account. Food, I could definitely be better at since I'm always getting takeout. I'm assuming I probably spend about about $600 a month on food. And then one of the suggestions Graham had was to start to work on my credit. And so I actually hired a guy for that I'm paying $100 a month for, and then a $30 program as well for him to run off and keep me accountable and to work on everything. More on that in a little bit. And then another thing with credit is I got this like Self.inc like savings account. That's $50 a month, but more on that in a little bit as well. Okay. So basically, with all of my bills all together, I'm paying about $2,133 a month, which is like $500 something a week, which is kind of ridiculous for somebody that's living out of their.
You want to pay off that car loan as fast as possible. That's right there is your priority right now.
Better paying that off than investing in it.
All right, guys, time to get to work. It's Sunday. I got to take some orders. But one of the suggestions we'll start out with that Graham gave me was to just pay off the Acura at the time, okay? So I actually did that on 420 because I thought it'd be funny.
Do you feel comfortable then talking about your financials, like where some of your money is going, and if you are investing, or what your plan is, or how you plan to...
Picking up an order for Velvet Taco. The next thing they wanted me to get into was Weeble and stocks and everything, and so I did, and with all of y'all's referrals, I ended up making probably a couple of grand, and then for some reason put that all in crypto, and even though that was a year ago, it's still all in crypto. And y'all, if y'all, any of y'all pay attention to anything that's been going on, y'all know that my delivery game is strong tonight. The next thing Graham and I talked about was getting my credit in order, okay? I had like $10,000 worth of credit card debt that went to collections. I've actually paid off most of that, and that's why I hired the credit guy, is to help get rid of all of that.
You could probably sign up for a Discover It Secured card.
And yes, I did end up getting the Discover It Secured card, which is a great card. Been buying my coffee on that every single morning. I drink Starbucks every morning.
No. Why?
Speaking of, I don't do Starbucks anymore. I get that $1 McDonald's, and I've been going hard on that. And then I ended up getting a Self.inc savings account. And basically how that works is you pick a total amount that you want to put into the savings, and you pay that total off within several months you're choosing. I'll have a promo code or something down in the description below if you want to do this, but basically every time you make a deposit, it hits your 3 credit accounts in a positive way and makes it go up.
Your best investment might just be in getting better equipment.
So basically, Graham told me to reinvest in myself, whether it's a camera or a brand new, nearly $5,000 computer. Basically, all of the money I made from the California videos and YouTube income, I completely reinvested back into this laptop that has been a godsend, makes my life so much easier. I can provide more for y'all, and this has seriously just changed the whole entire game for me. So,
yo, hey, what's up, Jake?
What's up, Jack?
Not a lot, man. How are you?
Good, good. So I kind of just wanted to ask you a couple of questions real quick. You know, you originally dropped out of college to go and work for Graham. What got you to put like one foot in front of the other and just to go out into the unknown?
It was definitely a very challenging decision for me because, I mean, historically, like my parents are college graduates, my older brother's a college graduate, so I was kind of the first in the family to go this like non-traditional route. I guess the main thing that made that decision makeable was the fact that I analyzed the pros and cons of everything, as I always do with decisions like that, and the pros just seemed to outweigh the cons. It's like I looked at the numbers, how much college would cost, you know, realistically the amount of money I'd be able to make had I graduated and got a degree with at UCSB studying econ, and the numbers made sense because Graham and I, we created a year-long work contract. So I had a decent understanding of how scalable this job was and how much money I would generally make the first year doing it.
Wow, incredible. And then a follow-up question, anyone struggling out there that might be in a financial, I guess, maybe crisis, kind of like I was when I went on the podcast, do you have any suggestions for anyone out there that might be, you know, in a tough spot?
Sure. So, as a general rule of thumb, I mean, you want to have a skill developed, and you want to get a job based on your skill. So you're not working some sort of unskilled labor. It's always a good thing to get, you know, obviously the highest paying job that you can get. And if you're not working the highest paying job, then acquiring some skill on the side that you could then put to use in, you know, a career or a job. And of course, number one, everyone will say it, number one is getting rid of bad debt. So if you have credit card debt, you know, a high % interest loan on a car, that's something that you'd want to get a new loan on, or consolidate your debt. Maybe if you can get a lower percentage, if you have a bunch of debt coming from different areas. Number one is always paying off bad debt. And that's the big thing, because you shouldn't be investing until you paid off any debt that's probably over 5%.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, of course, I mean, one thing I always love to emphasize is getting a good credit score, because that's just going to help you tremendously in the future if you're applying for loans, which everyone will at some point in their life, I'm sure. And it's cheap to get a good credit score. And it's nice to see that number rising, and it puts you on like a good path. It's like, oh, look, I'm doing well financially. And it's kind of like a snowball effect. You know, once you get that affirmation of seeing your credit score going up, and maybe the big, you know, number on your whatever, you know, debt account that you have going down, it's affirming, you know, and it feels good, and it makes you want to do better. So
yeah, y'all are a ton of help, honestly. And yeah,
that's awesome. It makes you feel really good knowing that you put the advice to work, for education or entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. But the fact that you put it to work, and it helped you out. I'm glad.
Well, awesome, man. I'll let you go. You got anything to say to my subs?
Yes. Smash the like button and subscribe to Jake, because he's got a great channel. He's a great dude. And also, send a text to someone that you care about, telling them that you care about them, as you should, at least once a week. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.